Hello students, please subscribe the channel, drop a like, share and comment. This is dictation number 1 and 2 of the model speed dictation volume number 1 on the speed of 100 words per minute. Start. Mr. Vice Chairman, the discussion on the wheat policy today, I think, is a discussion on the subject which is of paramount national importance, not only from the point of view of stabilizing the hyperinflation which has gripped the country, but also from the point of view of preserving the democratic system which we have built in the country during the last 26 or 27 years. The food crisis and the mismanagement of the food economy during the last few years has created a situation which threatens to assume the proportions of a serious law and order problem in various parts of the country. Anyway, at best, we can say that the giving up of that policy has been a very short sighted step taken out of lack of conviction, or at worst, we can describe it as a panicky capitulation to the propaganda barrage of vested interests and reactionary elements in this country. The Agriculture Ministry fixed a target of 8 million tons of procurement of wheat. It was an unrealistic target that was fixed. It was a target which was fixed on the assumption that rupees 150 crores, which were provided for the Crash Rabi program, would be utilized properly, and the shortfall of 15 million tons in Kharif that year would be more than made good in the Rabi program. But the report of the Comptroller and Auditor General has now revealed that the Agriculture Ministry and various agencies in the state governments who were provided these funds misspent them and misappropriated them and did not utilize these funds for increasing agricultural production under the special Rabi Crash program. In fact, the money that should have been used for increasing agricultural production was used in some states for such unproductive activities like purchase of luxury motor cars. Therefore, I say it was a wrong and artificial and unrealistic target. Secondly, from the very beginning, those who were in charge of administering this policy had no heart in it. A committee had been set up under the chairmanship of a member of the Planning Commission to study how to implement the scheme of takeover of the wholesale trade in wheat. The committee made 17 suggestions as to how to make the scheme a success. 15 out of the 17 suggestions were not implemented at all by the government. The committee had also indicated that it would be appropriate to give a remunerative price to the farmers at that time. If you remember, it was a period of acute scarcity in the country. The government had a stock of 9 million tons of food grains with it. And instead of preserving and distributing these 9 million tons through the public distribution system, They went on selling this stock in the open market at the rate of 1 million tons a month. And it was only when the stocks had been depleted that they said they had stopped this whole process. As far as mobilization of the farmers is concerned, we did not do to go to the farmers to explain to them the rationale of this policy, to explain to them how it was crucial for preserving our national independence and for pursuing the path of self reliance. We did not secure their support, and since it was not done, since mass mobilization in support of this policy was not done, all of us share the responsibility for the failure on this front. Let us be candid and let us be honest about it. I would like to remind the honorable member that both of us come from a state which is frequently visited by drought and famine. Therefore, what would happen if the government does not have the stocks? How will they distribute food grains to famine stricken people if they had not taken over wholesale trade in wheat in that year? There were 15 crores to 16 crores of people in various states like Maharashtra, Rajasthan, parts of UP, Bihar, Orissa, and Andhra Pradesh who were in the grip of one of the most severe droughts. It would have been impossible to feed them, and it was only because this step was taken that it was possible for the public distribution system to cater to their needs. Sir, in 1965, when we had a similar famine, we distributed about 13 million tons of food grains, but two-thirds of it were imported from the United States of America under the PL 480 program. Government has been reducing the quantum of imports over the years, and therefore if we want to have self-reliance, if we want to have national honor and self-respect, and at the same time want to ensure supply of food grains to the vulnerable sections of our people, especially in areas of scarcity and drought, there is no other mechanism but to have public distribution system. Public distribution system cannot be a temporary thing. It cannot be created overnight. It must be built over a period of time, and the government must have enough stocks. How to have enough stocks is a problem. Once you admit that there should be public distribution system in our country, it will be necessary to suggest some ways, and rightly the minister inquired from the farmers what price should be fixed for wheat. Sir, public distribution system in our country at the moment covers about 16 million people under statutory rationing, and another 400 million people are covered under informal rationing. In fact, this is not enough. If we want to cover even 50% of those people who are under the poverty line, we will have to have a public distribution system which may distribute about 20 million tons of food grains. These 20 million tons of food grains cannot be procured by purchases in the open market. Will the minister point out whether it could be done by a direct levy on producers?